Hi, my name is John. Welcome to Deb's Kitchen. If you come here expecting to find some welding, some machining or some steam engine repairs, unfortunately you've come to the wrong place, because this video is all about cooking. It's going to be me cooking one of my all-time favourites. It's a ham and egg pie. Actually, it's going to be a ham, egg and leek pie. I've got all the ingredients. It's really easy to do. That's enough talk. Let's carry on, see what we can get made. Deb's at work, so I've got the kitchen to myself. And as long as I'm sort of leave it half tidy, everything should be good. These are the basic ingredients. I've got some eggs, a dozen large eggs. I've got some what they call cooking bacon. I've cut it up into chunks, and that's 600 grams there. I've got a nice fresh leek. Now I've got some pastry here. It's ready-made pastry. I mean, I don't make my own steel when I'm making pots, seeing that I have made my own bronze before. So I've got some short crust pastry ready to use and some puff pastry, and I've got a baking tray to make it all in. The first thing I'm going to do is put the bacon or the ham pieces into a frying pan and just lightly fry it off. You may need to remove all the water because they do inject bacon with water and make it heavier, so you're paying for water. So we're going to do that first, put it into a pan, warm it up, and then we can carry on with the rest of the procedure. That's the baking tray I'm going to use. I need to prepare it, what they call grease it or grease it. So I need to put something there to stop the pie from sticking. And for that, I'm going to use a bit of beef dripping. None of your vegetable crap here. We use proper stuff. So just a light coat of beef dripping will stop that from sticking. It also gives the pastry quite a nice taste. It's not exactly health food, but you're not having it every day, so I don't think it'll do any harm, to tell you the truth. Right, so we've got a nice coating of beef dripping on there, right into the corners. Next is the pastry. We're going to use short crust pastry for the base and puff pastry for the top. That's my personal preference. This has been out of the fridge for about an hour now, so it's up to room temperature. It does come ready to use basically on its own grease-proof paper backing, so we'll gently roll it out. We need to check the thickness of it to make sure it will fit the actual dish. We're going to have to expand it to get it to be wide enough to go into there. It's not far away, but it's not quite right. As the pastry comes from the factory, it's basically 3.5mm thick. It's ridiculous trying to measure pastry with a vernier. A much better method is to use a slip gauge, and that's a 2.5 slip gauge, and that's the thickness that we want the pastry to be to fill that baking tray properly. So we'll roll it out a little bit, get it to that size, then it should fit perfectly. I've spent a lot of time working out thicknesses, volumes and areas to know that I need that pastry 2.5mm thick. You can actually see it stretching. Be gentle with it, because it has a tendency to want to tear and stick. You can put flour on, which does help it. Measure it in a few places, not just the one, just to make sure. That's pretty good there. So I'm fairly certain now that will actually fit in that dish quite nicely. It's quite tricky getting the pastry into the dish. Just going to put the slip gauge away. We don't want it getting contaminated. Right, so next is to get the pastry into there. Right, I found the easiest way to do this is to quite simply leave it on its back and offer it up to the dish like that, having the overhang the same all the way around, and then gently peel off the backing. We need to make sure it is a good fit into the corners. The corners are critical. The pastry is actually a little bit on the warm side when it is doing what I wanted to do to a certain extent. Right, that's not too bad. We've managed to get it in there without causing too much damage. Right, the bacon it's sort of started to cook, all the water's come out of it. You need plenty of bacon, so there's a little bit of water there, but most of it we managed to drain off. Spread that evenly, make sure all the base is covered. That looks pretty good actually. Right, we'll leave that for a minute and we'll get the leek prepared. I split the leek long ways like that, and it means it can wash any soil out that gets stuck behind the leaves. In these parts, leeks are actually grown and shown in leek shores. In these parts here are called flags, not leaves, flags. Right, so we're going to cut it up into sort of smallish bits, not, you really measure it, roughly 1/2 inch, 12mm. I want plenty of leek in here. I do like the leek, it keeps the pie nice and moist, gives it a nice taste as well. See, the green part of the flag is much stronger tasting than the white part of the barrel. Right, so the leek goes in there as well. Spread out nicely. Might as well put the last little bit in. Shame to waste it. You can put anything you want in here. Onions, tomatoes, anything, any flavouring. Put garlic in. You put curry powder if you want to do. I've put beans in before to give it a bit more taste. Right, so we've got quite a nice bed of meat and vegetables. Decent quality, large eggs. Right, so there's 5 eggs in there. I'm not going to put any salt in because the bacon could well be salty. I'm going to put in some black pepper. I'm going to put in one strange ingredient that you might use, you might not use. I use it all the time. It's really good with eggs. Right, this is a secret ingredient. It's not what it says in the tin. In here is actually MSG, what the Chinese use all the time in cooking. So you want a level teaspoonful of MSG. That gets mixed up like that. You put a little bit of milk in there. Right, back now to the pie. The egg goes in there, and I'm going to keep a little bit of egg, uses it to wash, just to wash the pastry before we actually put it into the oven. Bit of shell there, the bastard. Right, one more. Right, as this cooks it will rise up, it'll fill up and go really nicely. I'm sure you'll be suitably impressed. Oh, there's one egg left, I might as well put it in. Waste not, want not. So that's now 12 eggs in there. Like I say, we're not messing about, it's a decent pie. Lovely. Right. Next is the puff pastry to go around the lid. You don't have to use puff pastry, you can use ordinary short crust pastry, but I do like puff pastry. This is just the right size as it is to go onto the pie, so I'm going to do any rolling or stretching. It will fit. I'm just going to tweak it out width-wise just a little bit, just to make sure, but I'm fairly confident we'll be all right. So I'm a little bit short on pastry there to get a good seal, so all we'll do is pinch a bit from there and glue it on the top like that. A little bit more. That's better. Right, so we're all finished in there. Now it's time for the lid to go on. Without any disasters, hopefully. Whoa. Right. And what I do is I crimp the edge together like that, and you get a nice big thick crust on the side. And get shot of some of that. I should really put some egg wash on the joint to get a better seal, but I'm sure it'll be alright. Okay, we'll turn the edge up like that. It's quite important to give it a nice glaze, nice finish to it. I've got some pastry left, so we'll do a little bit of decorating, I think. We'll roll out some strips like that. You can write somebody's name on there if you want to do anything you want, really it's your pie. Just to use up a little bit of pastry. Quite often I make a link of sausage and make a sausage roll out of the pastry that's left. Right. I'll just go into a preheated oven, 180 degrees C, for about 45 minutes. Some vent holes in. Right, that's it there, ready to go in the oven. Middle of the oven, 45 minutes. Right, the pie's in about 40 minutes. I'm going to take it out and see what sort of result we've got after 40 minutes. It's certainly filled itself up. What I'm looking for is moisture, and the knife is still moist. That means the pie's not cooked. It wants a little bit longer. We put a knife in. The knife is coming out dry, which means that the eggs are definitely cooked. I'm looking in there and I can see cooked egg. I'll eat this warm, but you can't eat it red hot. It's also a nice cold. It's got a nice, oh, it smells absolutely stunning. Right, it's cooled down now, so hopefully we can get it out of its dish, out of its tray. trying to, yeah. It's looking good. Oh, it's not really cool enough to play with like this. You can see I've lost some of the crunchy bits off the top. I'm going to cut it open and see exactly what we've got in there. Look at that. Dear me. I've got to have a bit. See, this is better left till it's cooled. But honestly, look at that. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and bon appetit, bonny lad. That is absolutely out of this world, that. Really tender, moist. What more can you say?